Conservative New Media viewers, JLin fans around the world, Charlotte Hornets fans around the world, what's up? It's me, PFE Paul at Villarreal, the NBA expert. We're here to discuss Charlotte's 109-91 defeat tonight to the Portland Trailblazers in Portland, Oregon. With the loss, the Hornets dropped to 22-25 on the season. Now, sorry this video is getting up a little bit late. I fell asleep after the game ended, and so I'm making the video now a little bit delayed. The best news about this game was that Kidd-Gilchrist played for the Hornets. That was a huge lift in this game, and it's going to be a really important thing for the team going forward. And I'll talk more about that in time to come in this video. The reason why the Hornets lost this game was they didn't shoot well enough, they didn't play good enough defense, and they had too many turnovers. Those are the three main things, and statistically you can see it. The Hornets shot only 39% from the field, whereas Portland shot 49% from the field. The Hornets had 16 turnovers for 21 points. Whereas Portland only turned the ball over 11 times for 13 points. So, Steve Clifford said this. I watched the video of him after the game, and he said, look, we're a different team on the road. And the primary issue is they just don't play good enough defense on the road. Now, certainly getting back Kidd-Gilchrist is going to help with that. But this was a disappointing loss. I said in the video the other day that I thought if the team could win this game, then you go to play the Lakers and you're in the position to get to 500 after the road trip. And then you're going home and you're at 500. You could be feeling great because they should beat the Lakers. The Lakers are one of the two worst teams in the league, and maybe the worst team since Philadelphia has made some changes to their organization and roster. So it should also be noted that Nicholas Batum, this was kind of his homecoming. He played in Portland for the all of his career before going to Charlotte, and he definitely didn't have a good outing. He shot only 1 of 11 from the field with 6 turnovers. So I think Nick was probably a little bit too excited for the game, and of course he's still returning from the toe injury that he had, so he just, maybe those things combined, it just wasn't able to just get it done for the team. Another positive in this game, besides Kidd-Gilchrist being back, was the continued strong play of Brian Roberts, who is essentially taking Jeremy's role right now. JLin did not play in this game. I think it's the 3rd or 4th game he's missed this season, and he did not play because he injured his ankle in the last contest in Utah. So Brian Roberts had 17 points off the bench, and he's playing great. And the more depth that the team can have, the better. So let's go over statistics very quickly. Damian Lillard, 22 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. C.J. McCollum, 17 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Alan Crabb came off the bench for Portland, 20 points. So a lot of the damage that Portland did against the Hornets was done by their backcourt, the guards, basically. The Hornets were led by 14 points from Kemba, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. Marvin Williams outscored Kemba 20 points, 9 rebounds. Good game for Marvin. Kidd-Gilchrist, 13 points, 7 rebounds. Michael played 34 minutes. That's quite a lot just coming back in your first game. And Tyler Hansbrough added 12 points and 14 rebounds off the bench to go along with Brian Roberts' 17 points off the bench. Look, we certainly need to defeat the Lakers in the next game. I think it's not a must win, but you really want to win that game. Then you're going back home. You're only 2 games under 500, and let's end this road trip on the right note. Now, I mentioned in the video the other day that Michael Kidd-Gilchrist might take time away from Jeremy. And then I said, well, he's going to take time away from P.J. Hairston, which is true. However, here's the reason why it's going to end up affecting Jeremy. And I think that it will. What's going to happen then is, but when Michael was out, P.J. Hairston was starting, and Jeremy was closing out games. Jeremy was on the court at the end of the game. Now what I think is going to happen is that your finishing lineup is likely to be Kemba, Batum, Kidd-Gilchrist, someone at the power forward, probably either Marvin Williams or Frank Kaminsky, depending on the matchup, and then whoever's playing center, Cody Zeller or Al Jefferson. So that's where I think that Jeremy could end up getting squeezed out because of Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. So rather than Jeremy playing the shooting guard at the end of the games, I think Nick Batum's going to end up doing that. And this comes back to Steve Clifford being a defense-oriented coach. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is a really good defender. He's tall, he's got long arms, he's athletic. And so you have the option then of, do you have another tall and long-armed player to play defense at the shooting guard like Nick Batum, or do you put in Jeremy? And so now you have, it's basically, you have pretty tall and pretty long-armed players except for Kemba. And this is why I think Jeremy is probably going to end up getting less time. And so I do think that's going to happen. Is it going to happen every single game? I don't know. But before, the equation was, okay, who's going to play at the end? Is it going to be J-Lin or is it going to be Jeremy Lamb? PJ wasn't really in a factor because later in the games they'll put Nick Batum on a good offensive player rather than PJ Hairston. And then then you could, like I said, then it came down to one of the two Jeremys. Now I think it's going to come down to Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is going to be on the court rather than one of the Jeremys. And so when people ask me, or people have said, well, why do you think Jeremy's going to leave next year? And first of all, I don't know if he's going to leave. I mean, this team can be pretty darn good if they keep the talent that they have. Like if Nick stays and they're able to bring in a little bit more talent. Maybe Al Jefferson leaves and they get somebody at center who fits a little bit better in terms of like a shooter so that they can play really spread out. So if Jeremy stays on this team next year, they could be quite a pretty darn good team. And I could understand if Jeremy wanted to stay there because you're on a successful team, almost certainly, unless they get injury problems. You have a good coach. You like your teammates. You have good assistant coaches like Steven Silas and so forth. And I'm sure that they'll pay Jeremy a good amount of money to stay if he wants to stay. However, I don't know how much Jeremy's going to play. If he sticks around next year, assuming that Nick Batum stays, which we don't know if he will or not, but if Nick Batum stays, then Jeremy's probably going to be primarily a backup to Kemba, essentially. Maybe he can play some backups, shooting guard as well, but he's probably not going to have the opportunity to finish a lot of games if Nick Batum sticks around. But we have to see. Look, we do have to see. We have to see what the moves are made and so on before we can come to any conclusions. So the thing for me is, if Jeremy wants to play more, if he wants an opportunity to get more minutes, then he might need to leave the team. But we'll see. We'll see. Obviously, it's up to him and his team what he decides to do and what he thinks is best for him and his career. Look, if he sticks around there and continues to work on his skills and gets more good coaching and improves like he's improving now, I have no problem with that at all, because he will get better and better. So it might just be a thing between what are the contracts that you're offered, what are the opportunities, is there a starting spot that you might be able to get, is there a situation where you can close out the games, whereas maybe you don't close out the games next year if Nick Batum's still around. That's what I'm looking at. That's the reason why I think that it's possible that Jeremy might end up moving on to another team. Jeremy has said this before, and I totally agree with him. There's a lot of talent in the league right now at point guard. So there's not always this much talent, and it's making it tougher for players like Jeremy to kind of get their spot because there's a lot of quality players at point guard right now. I thought before that there's a good chance Jeremy might go to Philadelphia because Mike D'Antoni is now an assistant coach in Philadelphia. However, they acquired the point guard Ish Smith, who's playing really well for them. Although Ish Smith is also a free agent at the end of this season, so he might leave Philadelphia. If he leaves Philadelphia, then maybe Jeremy does end up going there. But we'll see. We just have to see. But I do want to prepare people that my guess is that Jeremy is going to be playing less at the end of the games because of Michael Kidd-Gilchrist coming back. So that's... I do think that there's a very good chance that that's going to happen, and that's kind of what I was trying to get at the other day in one of the videos. I just didn't, the thought hadn't formed completely in my mind. So that's about it for this. There's not, obviously, Jeremy didn't play. I'm not going to do quarter by quarter. The team just needs to, they've got to be able to exert more defensive energy. Portland's not a bad team. They're not. And they have powerful and potent guards. And those guys got going in this game. So it's not like a terrible loss. It's just Charlotte will be getting better. And as guys start to come back, like Cody Zeller, Al Jefferson, hopefully these guys will be ready to play in the next couple of weeks. Jeremy Lamb. Then Charlotte's going to be really deep and very good. And they should be getting stronger. We just want to get the best record that we can get between now and then. And hopefully going home and we can kind of get back on the winning trail. But as I said, everything, Steve Clifford's point is correct. The team they do need to be more focused and more energetic on defense when they're on the road. That's one thing that this team has struggled with all season, even when they were more healthy, was they're not a good road team. They're 6-17 on the road, and that's just not good enough, basically. So they need to kind of get stronger or more focused or something whenever they're on the road. And I think the team will get better than that. I think they will get better at that. The team has a lot of talent. They work hard. They're focused in terms of they want to improve. There's no dissension in the team. So they just have to overcome that somehow. And I think they will get better on that as the season does progress. Okay, let's talk about the next game coming up. That game will take place tomorrow, now that I'm making this on Saturday morning. And that is Sunday, January 31st, here in the United States. And the game will take place at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That means that the game will be on Monday morning, February 1st at 10:30 a.m. in Taipei, Taiwan, and throughout China. As I said, this is... the Lakers they're just not a very good team. They're young. Their coaching isn't necessarily so great. We know all about that for Jeremy Lin fans. And we definitely want to win the game. So I don't know what the latest is with Jeremy. how his ankle is going to be in terms of whether he'll be ready to play in that game or not. I don't think the team needs him in that game in order to win. So if he wants to rest some more, great. Rest up the ankle, because we know this ankle's been bothering him for weeks. So, but I'm very excited and eager to see that game. We definitely want to win that game, and want Michael to be able to get out there, get some more conditioning, and just let's see Nick Batum kind of get himself and his game back on track after this tough outing as well. So that's about it. That's all I have for tonight. Thumbs up, thumbs down, your comments below. I want to thank Gary Chen for the artwork you're looking at right now. Gary is an artist and blogger in Taiwan. He's also a member of the Jeremy Only Lin Garden fan group, which is headquartered in Taiwan. You can learn more about Gary and the Jeremy Only Lin Garden fan group if you follow the information in the video description below the video player. Also in the video description, you'll find information about highlights for this game. Finally, there you will find information about how you can join the Conservative New Media Facebook group and how you can come and follow us on Twitter as well. Once again, I'm PFA Paul F. Villarreal, the NBA expert. Thanks a lot for watching Conservative New Media. We strive to be the #1 Jeremy Lin YouTube fan channel. Look, it's a disappointing loss. Just got to move forward. But it's certainly a great thing to get Michael Kidd-Gilchrist back. And I know it's a shame, and certainly for Jeremy Lin fans, if Michael ends up pushing Jeremy's minutes down at the end of games. But Michael's a heck of a player, and hopefully the team will be able to improve with him playing. And we'll see. I mean, it might not be the same every single night. Michael's not a great offensive player, so there might be certain nights where Clifford is more focused on scoring rather than defending down the stretch. However, as we know, Clifford is a defensive-oriented coach. That's why I think that Michael's going to be playing at the end of games, probably more so than Jeremy. And so we'll have to see. But definitely looking forward to the contest against the Lakers. Jeremy's going back to one of his former teams, and we'll see what's up with him. We'll see how he's feeling. He was dressed in his uniform warm-ups today in the game rather than in street clothes. So I think that's kind of a good sign. So I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I'm fine with him resting, though. If he needs to rest, let him rest, because it'd be nice to kind of get rid of this ankle issue more permanently, rather than it being a lingering thing as it has been for kind of weeks now. Okay, hope you're having a great night or great day wherever you are around the world when you watch this video. Take care, and we will talk to you again soon, less than 48 hours, as the Charlotte Hornets take on the Los Angeles Lakers in Los Angeles, California.